She's younger, she's interested, but before she commits, she needs to know something. So she tests you with two specific questions. Most older men fail these tests without even realizing it. Here's what she's really asking and how to pass. There's a unique dynamic that happens when a younger woman is attracted to an older man. It's different from same-age attraction. It's layered with different concerns, different fears, different questions that need answering before she can fully invest. And here's what most older men don't realize. She's not going to ask these questions directly. She can't. They're too vulnerable, too revealing, too loaded with implications. So instead, she asks them indirectly through seemingly casual questions that are actually sophisticated psychological tests. Today, we're going to reveal exactly what these two questions are, what she's really testing for when she asks them, and most importantly, how to respond in a way that passes the test and deepens her attraction rather than destroying it. But before we get to the questions themselves, we need to understand the psychology of why younger women are attracted to older men in the first place, and what unique anxieties this attraction creates for them. The psychology of age gap attraction. When a younger woman is attracted to an older man, she's typically attracted to qualities that men her own age haven't fully developed yet. Maturity, stability, confidence, life experience, emotional intelligence, financial security, a sense of groundedness and purpose. These aren't superficial attractions. They're deeply rooted in female psychology and evolutionary patterns. Women are attracted to men who can provide security, both emotional and practical. Older men, by virtue of more years living, working, and growing, often possess these qualities in ways younger men simply can't yet. But this attraction comes with concerns, serious concerns that she needs answered before she can fully commit to pursuing something with you. First, she's concerned about judgment. Society still scrutinizes age gap relationships, especially when the woman is younger. She knows that people will talk, her friends might question it, her family might disapprove, strangers might make assumptions. She needs to know that you're confident enough to handle this social pressure, and that being with you is worth facing it. Second, she's concerned about your intentions. Is she just a conquest, a way for you to feel young again, an ego boost? Or do you genuinely value her as a person? She needs to know you see her as more than just her youth and beauty. Third, she's concerned about compatibility. Will the age gap create problems? Do you still have energy and enthusiasm for life? Are you set in your ways? Can you relate to her world while she learns from yours? She needs reassurance that the age difference is an asset, not a liability. Fourth, she's concerned about the future. Where is this going? What happens as time passes? What happens if life goals don't align? She needs to know you've thought about these practical realities. These concerns are legitimate and important, and she needs answers, but she can't ask directly because that would make her seem insecure, overly serious too early, or like she's interrogating you. So instead, she disguises these deep questions as casual conversation. This is where the two secret test questions come in. Test question 1, what do you like to do for fun? This seems like the most basic, casual, getting to know you question possible. It's the kind of thing people ask on first dates without thinking twice. But when a younger woman asks an older man this question, it's loaded with subtext. What she's really asking: are you still vibrant, energetic, and engaged with life, or are you settling into a quieter phase? She needs to know that dating you doesn't mean her life becomes limited or sedentary. She needs to know you're not just going to want to stay home every weekend. She needs to know you still have enthusiasm, energy, and zest for life. This is her biggest concern about dating an older man, that the age gap means a gap in energy and lifestyle. That while her friends are traveling, going to events, trying new things, and having adventures, she'll be in a relationship that feels like it's already in retirement mode. How most older men fail this test. They give low-energy answers. Oh, I like to relax at home, watch sports, maybe play some golf. Or worse, they try to relate to her by mentioning things they think younger people like. I'm pretty into TikTok, and I love going to clubs. Both responses fail. The first confirms her fear that you're settling into a quieter lifestyle. The second confirms her fear that you're trying too hard to be something you're not, which suggests insecurity about the age gap. Some men give vague answers. I like everything, or I'm pretty flexible. This also fails because it suggests you don't have genuine passions or direction. How to pass. This test, give an answer that demonstrates you have genuine passions and actively pursue them. Talk about hobbies that require energy and engagement. Mention recent experiences, not things you used to do. I'm really into hiking. Just did a trail last month that was challenging, but the views made it worth it. I also love cooking and experimenting with new recipes. And I've been getting into photography lately, trying to capture interesting perspectives of the city. This answer works because it shows you're physically active and capable. You're intellectually curious and always learning. You have passion for things beyond work. You're having experiences now, not just remembering the past. You have specific interests that define you. The key is authenticity. Don't make up hobbies you don't have. But do make sure you actually have hobbies and passions. If you don't, that's something to address because younger women will notice and lose attraction. After answering, involve her. What about you? What gets you excited? This shows you're interested in her as a person, not just trying to impress her. It also gives you insight into her lifestyle and whether you're actually compatible. You can also build on common interests if they emerge. Oh, you're into hiking too? There's this trail I've been wanting to try. We should check it out sometime. This creates a natural opportunity for future plans while demonstrating shared values. Test question 2. What was your last relationship like? This question seems like she's just being curious about your romantic history. And on the surface, that's part of it. But when a younger woman asks an older man this question, she's testing for something much more specific and important. What she's really asking: do you value women for more than their youth and beauty, or am I just temporary? This is the deepest fear younger women have when dating older men. If previous relationships ended for superficial reasons, what happens when she gets older? If you're dating her primarily because of her youth, what happens when that changes? She needs to know that you value substance, character, and connection. She needs to know that you ended previous relationships for legitimate reasons having to do with compatibility, values, or life direction, not because of aging or because you wanted something different. She's also testing whether you speak respectfully about your exes. How you talk about women from your past tells her how you'll talk about her in the future if things don't work out. How most older men fail this test. They either criticize their ex excessively, which shows immaturity and bitterness, or they mention age in a way that reveals it's a factor they think about. She was great, but we just grew apart. She was in her 40s when we ended things, just different phases of life. Mentioning her age, even casually, reveals that age is on your mind when it comes to relationships, and that concerns a younger woman, because it suggests she's valued primarily for her youth. Some men make the opposite mistake. They try too hard to prove age doesn't matter. Age is just a number. I've always connected better with younger women because they're more fun and less jaded. This is worse because it explicitly states you prefer younger women, which means she has an expiration date in your eyes. Other men give bitter, resentful answers. She changed. Women always change. This shows you haven't processed the relationship or learned from it, and you blame others rather than taking responsibility. How to pass this test. Talk about your previous relationship in terms of compatibility, values, and personal growth. Never mention age, never mention physical attributes. Focus on substance. We had some good years together, but ultimately we wanted different things in life. She's a good person and I have respect for her, but we weren't growing in the same direction anymore. I learned a lot from that relationship about what I need in a partner and what I can offer. This answer works because it shows you value substance over surface attributes. You speak respectfully about past partners. You're self-aware and learn from experiences. You ended things for mature reasons related to compatibility. You take responsibility rather than just blaming her. You've reflected on what you want moving forward. Then, and this is crucial, redirect to focus on character traits that matter. I've realized what I really value in a partner is intellectual curiosity, emotional depth, and someone who challenges me to be better. Physical attraction matters, but it's the connection and shared values that make a relationship last. This statement accomplishes multiple things. It tells her you value qualities that transcend age. It shows you understand what makes relationships work long term. And it subtly reassures her that you're not just attracted to her youth. You can also add, what about you? What have your past relationships taught you? This turns it into a mutual conversation rather than an interrogation, and it gives you valuable insight into her maturity and relationship patterns. The underlying pattern. Both of these test questions are really asking the same fundamental thing. Is the age gap going to be a problem? She needs reassurance that you're still vibrant and energetic despite being older. You value her for who she is, not just how old she is. You're confident in the relationship despite societal judgment. You've thought seriously about what age gap relationships require. You're emotionally mature enough to handle the unique dynamics. Your answers to these questions either provide this reassurance or confirm her fears. Most older men, because they don't realize these are tests, answer casually without thinking about the subtext, and they lose attraction without understanding why. The woman who was interested suddenly becomes distant. She stops responding as enthusiastically. She doesn't make herself available, and the man is confused because he thought the conversation went well. But in reality, he failed tests he didn't even know he was taking. Beyond the two questions, other tests. While these are the two most common and important test questions, younger women use other methods too. Understanding the pattern helps you recognize and pass all the tests. She might mention the age gap casually to see how you react. My friend asked how old you are. I told her, and she seemed surprised. If you get defensive, uncomfortable, or try too hard to downplay it, you fail. The right response is confidence. Yeah, there's a gap. I think different perspectives make things interesting. What matters is how we connect. She might make a lighthearted joke about your age. Wow, you remember when that came out? That was before I was born. Again, she's testing for insecurity. If you get defensive or sensitive, you fail. If you laugh confidently and maybe even lean into it with humor, hey, I prefer to think of it as having a richer cultural reference library, you pass. She might introduce you to her younger friends to see how you interact with them. If you try too hard to be cool and relate to them, or if you act superior and condescending, you fail. If you're genuinely yourself, interested but not trying too hard, confident but not arrogant, treating them as equals, you pass. She might test your energy by suggesting active dates or spontaneous adventures. There's this concert tomorrow night. Want to go? If you make excuses about being tired or preferring to plan ahead, you fail. If you enthusiastically engage and show flexibility and energy, you pass. She might observe how you talk about other women, especially younger women. If you objectify them or constantly comment on their looks, you fail because it confirms you value women primarily for youth and beauty. If you talk about women respectfully as full human beings with thoughts, ambitions, and character, you pass. She might test how you handle being around her younger male friends. If you get jealous, territorial, or try to assert dominance, you fail. If you're secure and confident, treating them with respect while maintaining your own value, you pass. The pattern in all these tests is the same. She's checking for insecurity about the age gap and confirming you have the maturity, confidence, and vitality that attracted her in the first place. What drives these tests? Understanding why she's testing you creates empathy and helps you respond authentically rather than defensively. She's testing because she's taking a risk. Dating an older man means potentially facing judgment from friends, family, and society. It means navigating a future where you're at different life stages. It means trusting that the maturity and stability she's attracted to won't become rigidity and being set in your ways. She needs to know you're worth that risk. She needs to know you understand what you're asking of her by pursuing this relationship. She needs to know you're secure enough in yourself to handle the challenges that come with age gap relationships. These tests aren't manipulative or unfair. They're protective. They're her way of gathering information she needs to make an informed decision about investing in you emotionally. When you understand this, the tests stop feeling like obstacles and start feeling like reasonable due diligence from someone who's being careful with her heart. A woman who tests before investing is a woman who values herself and takes relationships seriously. That's exactly the kind of woman you want. How to pass every test. The secret to passing all of these tests, not just the 2 specific questions, comes down to a few key principles. First, be genuinely confident about who you are and the age gap. Don't apologize for it. Don't feel weird about it. Don't overcompensate. The more comfortable you are with it, the more comfortable she'll be with it. Confidence is contagious. So is insecurity. Second, actually be the mature, stable, vibrant man she's attracted to. You can't fake these qualities long term. If you're not genuinely engaged with life, not genuinely growing and learning, not genuinely emotionally mature, she'll sense it. The tests will expose it eventually. Third, value her for her character, intelligence, and personality, not just her youth and beauty. If you're primarily attracted to her age, you're not ready for this relationship. Your attraction needs to be based on who she is as a person. This needs to be genuine, not performative. Fourth, be honest about the realities of age gap relationships. Don't pretend the age difference doesn't exist or won't create unique situations to navigate. Acknowledge it openly and confidently when it comes up. Yeah, we're at different life stages, and I think that's part of what makes this interesting. We bring different perspectives. Fifth, maintain your energy and enthusiasm for life. This is non-negotiable. If you're already settling into a sedentary lifestyle, if you've lost your curiosity and zest, you're not going to be attractive to younger women, no matter how you answer these test questions. You need to actually be living an engaged, passionate life. Sixth, speak respectfully about women, especially past partners. How you talk about other women tells her everything she needs to know about how you see women in general, including her. If you're bitter, resentful, or disrespectful about exes, she assumes you'll eventually be that way about her too. Seventh, don't try to be younger than you are. She's attracted to your maturity, not to you pretending to be her age. Trying to use her slang, dress like someone decades younger, or constantly reference things from her generation makes you look insecure and foolish. Be authentically yourself. Eighth, show emotional intelligence. Understand that these tests come from a place of self-protection, not manipulation. Respond with empathy and understanding. Show that you can read between the lines and address her real concerns, not just the surface questions. Common mistakes that kill attraction. Let's talk about specific mistakes older men make that destroy attraction with younger women, often without realizing it. Mistake 1. Treating her like she's too young to understand things. You wouldn't remember this? You're too young. This is condescending and creates a parent-child dynamic instead of an equal partnership. Never condescend based on age. Mistake 2. Constantly bringing up the age gap yourself. I can't believe someone as young and beautiful as you is interested in someone my age. This signals insecurity and makes the age difference a problem when it might not have been. Mistake 3. Trying to buy her affection with money or gifts. While financial stability is attractive, trying to compensate for the age gap with material things suggests you don't think you're valuable beyond your wallet. This creates a transactional dynamic instead of genuine connection. Mistake 4. Being inflexible or stuck in your ways. I've always done it this way, or at my age, I know what I like. This confirms her fear that you're too set in your patterns to grow with her or accommodate a partnership. Mistake 5, making everything about sex or physical attraction. While physical chemistry matters, if that's all you focus on, you confirm her fear that she's just a young body to you. Balance physical attraction with genuine interest in her mind and character. Mistake 6, comparing her to your ex or to younger women in general. My ex used to, or women your age usually. This makes her feel like she's being judged against others or put in a category rather than seen as an individual. Mistake 7, being threatened by her younger male friends or colleagues. Jealousy and insecurity about younger men shows you're aware of the age gap as a weakness rather than being confident in what you offer. When the tests reveal incompatibility, sometimes you'll answer honestly and she'll lose interest. And that's actually a good outcome. It means you're genuinely incompatible and she recognized it early, saving both of you time and emotional investment. If your honest answer about what you do for fun reveals that you genuinely prefer a quiet, low-key lifestyle and she's looking for someone more adventurous, better to know that now. If your previous relationship ended for reasons that raise legitimate red flags for her, better that she sees those flags early. The goal isn't to trick her into thinking you're someone you're not. The goal is to present who you genuinely are in the most attractive, authentic way possible. If who you are isn't what she's looking for, that's valuable information for both of you. Don't try to contort yourself to pass tests by lying or exaggerating. That creates a foundation of dishonesty that will crumble eventually. Be yourself, present yourself well, and let her decide if that's what she wants. Compatibility matters more than winning someone over. A relationship built on passing tests through deception will fail when reality sets in. A relationship built on genuine compatibility, revealed through honest answers to these tests, has a real foundation. When you should walk away. Not every younger woman who shows interest is someone you should pursue. Sometimes the tests reveal that she's interested for the wrong reasons, or that she's not mature enough for what an age gap relationship requires. If her questions reveal she's primarily interested in financial security and what you can provide materially, walk away. If she's attracted because of unresolved issues with authority figures and she's looking for a parent substitute rather than a partner, walk away. If she's attracted to the idea of an older man, but not to you specifically as an individual, walk away. If her questions and behavior reveal that she's looking for someone to take care of her completely, that she has no direction in her own life, that she's trying to escape responsibility rather than build a partnership, these are red flags. If she's testing you, but in manipulative ways designed to make you prove yourself constantly, that's not healthy. Tests should be about gathering information for compatibility, not about making you jump through hoops for her entertainment. The tests work both ways. While she's testing you, you should be evaluating whether this is a woman worth investing in. Is she testing for the right reasons? Is she mature enough for this dynamic? Does she bring value beyond her youth? The long game. Building real connection. Passing these initial tests is just the beginning. If things progress, you'll need deeper conversations about the age gap and what it means for your future together. Eventually, you'll need to discuss what each of you wants for the future and whether those visions align, how you'll handle the different rates of aging and life stages, how you'll deal with social judgment from family and friends, what your long-term plans look like and whether they're compatible, how you'll navigate major life decisions, given the age difference. These conversations require even more honesty and maturity than the test questions. They're not tests. They're genuine explorations of whether you can build a life together. Don't avoid these conversations out of fear they'll scare her away. If the relationship has real potential, these discussions strengthen it. If these conversations reveal fundamental incompatibilities, better to discover that before you're both deeply invested. Initiate these conversations when the time is right. Show that you've thought about these issues seriously and you're willing to discuss them openly. This demonstrates maturity and genuine concern for building something real rather than just enjoying the moment. The role of genuine growth. One of the most attractive things you can demonstrate is that you're still growing, learning, and evolving despite being older. This addresses her concern that you're set in your ways. Talk about new skills you're learning. Share books that changed your perspective recently. Discuss how your views on certain topics have evolved. Show curiosity about her world and genuine interest in learning from her perspective. This doesn't mean abandoning your values or pretending you don't have experience and wisdom to offer. It means showing that you're open to growth, that you don't think you know everything, that you value learning from anyone regardless of age. When she sees that you're still evolving, that you're not finished becoming who you're meant to be, it reassures her that being with you means growth and adventure, not stagnation. The ultimate truth. Here's the ultimate truth about these 2 test questions and all the other tests younger women give older men. They're not obstacles. They're opportunities. They're opportunities to demonstrate the exact qualities that made her attracted to you in the first place. The maturity, the confidence, the self-awareness, the emotional intelligence, the stability, the vitality. If you're genuinely the man you present yourself to be, these tests are easy. Your answers flow naturally from who you are. You don't have to strategize or calculate responses. You just have to be authentic and thoughtful. But if you're insecure about the age gap, if you're not actually as mature and vibrant as you want her to believe, if you're pursuing her primarily because of her youth, these tests will expose you. And that's actually a good thing. It saves both of you from investing in something built on false pretenses. The best approach is to see these tests as her being smart and careful, not as her being difficult or manipulative. A woman who evaluates carefully before investing her heart is exactly the kind of woman worth pursuing. She values herself. She takes relationships seriously. She's not impulsive or reckless with her emotions. Moving forward with authenticity. The next time a younger woman asks you what you do for fun or what your last relationship was like, pause before answering. Recognize that these aren't just casual small talk. They're windows into her concerns and opportunities to deepen her attraction or destroy it. Give answers that are authentic, but also aware of what she's really asking. Show her through your words and your life that you're vibrant, purposeful, emotionally mature, and that you value women for substance rather than surface attributes. And most importantly, actually be these things. Don't just know how to answer the tests. Be the kind of man who naturally passes them because you genuinely embody the qualities she's looking for. That's the real secret. It's not about memorizing the right answers to test questions. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need to memorize answers because the truth of who you are is exactly what she's hoping to find. Live a life full of passion and purpose. Maintain your energy and curiosity. Treat women with respect and value them for their character. Be confident in who you are. Keep growing and evolving. Take care of your physical and mental health. Build a life that's compelling whether you're in a relationship or not. When you do these things, when you become genuinely attractive as a person, rather than just trying to seem attractive, the test questions answer themselves. Your life speaks. Your character shows. Your authenticity shines through. And when she tests you with these 2 questions or any others, your authentic answers will naturally pass because they reflect a man who's genuinely worth her time, her risk, and her heart.